Hi, in this video I'll introduce a class of differential equations called first order linear differential equations, for which we have a formula to find the general solution. This class is the second class. The first class we learned was separable differential equations. Now this is the second one. Okay, what is the first order linear differential equation? So any differential equation that we can write it in this form. What is the form? The form is that I can write it of this form. It's called first order linear differential equation. Why it is called first order? So note that it only has first order derivative of y. That's why it's called first order differential equation. And it is linear in y prime and y. It means that we don't have powers of y prime, or we don't have powers of different power of y. The y prime and y are not multiplied. Let's just see in some examples and you'll notice that what I mean by the difference. So let me list these differential equations. First one is the y prime plus x y minus e to the power x. The second one is y prime times x times y prime minus y squared equals to 1. And the third one is e to the power x y prime plus 3y equals to x. So the first one is, if you look at it, I can write it as y prime plus a function in x times y equals, I can take this to the other side, and that's the one. In other words, this is px here, this is qx, so I can write it in the standard form, and that means that this is a linear first order linear differential equation. How about this one? Okay, when I look at this thing, the first thing I should note that I have a term here of y which has power 2. It means that this, whatever I do, I cannot write it as this form. It is not linear in y. So it fails to be linear differential equation. So it is not. This one, while I have a y prime term, y term, they are multiplied by different functions of x and then added equal to function of x. It is linear because now you see that the y and y prime, both of them are first, the power is 1, and there are they are having only multiples of x functions, and they are added equal to the right hand side. Although this is a linear, it's not written in the standard form. So its standard form, what is the standard form? So y prime has no coefficient here, so I have to divide the whole equation by 1 over e to the power x. So that will give me e to the power x over e to the power x y prime plus 3 e to the power x y equals to x e to the power x. And then you can see these two cancel, and I get y prime plus 3e to the power negative xy equals to x e to the power negative x. And you see now it is in the standard form. The coefficient of y prime is 1. The coefficient of y is a function of x, that's px. And then the right hand side is a function of x. So it is now written in the standard form. It is linear and it can be written in the standard form. Okay, so these all being said, now how to solve a first order linear differential equation. Okay, so this has 3 steps. Step 1, first of all, you have to recognize that this is a linear differential equation, and then write the equation in the standard form. Remember, standard form is y prime has coefficient 1 plus a function in x multiplied to y equals to a function in x. When you do write it in the standard form, basically you identify what is p and qx and identify what are p and q. That's the first step. Just set up everything this in the nice form. The second thing is called, well, to find a solution for linear first order linear differential equation, we need to form a new function. It's not the solution, but it is something that we would use to create the solution. What is that? So you first integrate px, will give you a function in x. You put it in the power of e, exponent of e. That is what we call the integrating factor of the equation. The integrating factor, this is something that we will use in the next step to find the solution, but you have to know it by itself. If someone gives you the linear first order linear differential equation in the standard form, the integrating factor is e to the power integral of px dx. And then in the next step, you use it, the general solution is given by, so the general solution is, to define the integrating factor we use p. Now you multiply the integrating factor to q, integrate it, and when you integrate, when you find the antiderivative of qx times ux, you don't forget that plus c. When you did that, then multiply it by 1 over ux. In other words, the solution, the general solution, is going to be 1 over ux integral of qx ux dx plus c over ux. Okay, so this gives us an introduction to first order linear differential equations. You have to know what is the standard form and be able to recognize the first order linear differential equation, write them in the standard form. And then the second thing is you have to learn how to solve such equations. You need to know what is p, what is q, then form the integrating factor, and then when you're done, you have the formula for the solution of the differential equation.